What is going on, guys? It is Wrestlelamia here, back with some more news. Join us now as we look at this week's episode of the Blue Brand, as well as the wildest wrestling news stories and rumors you need to know, including did the WWE accidentally leak a major Hall of Fame induction, a big name may be missing from the Hall of Fame ceremony, why Caruso was really removed, and much more. Be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell for daily wrestling videos, and follow us on Facebook for exclusive lists. As always, we won't recap the show, but just provide you with the good, the bad, and the downright ugly. As always, we start off with the good, as number 1, Sami and Corbin hype video was actually good. Now, last night's Smackdown featured one of the most unusual hype videos in the Blue Brand's history. While the WWE has a well-deserved reputation for crafting compelling hype videos, last night featured a first as Sami Zayn vs Baron Corbin bout was billed as the match no one asked for. No, it's not April Fool's Day yet, so is the Smackdown hacker back? Well, whoever came up with the video had some fun, and we know we're not the only fans who are laughing at the WWE stating the obvious. How many times do we have to see Zayn vs Corbin wrestle each other, despite both men being solid performers? Number 2, we want a triple threat. As much as Edge vs Roman Reigns is going to be a great Mania match, it's going to be one for the ages if Daniel Bryan enters. WrestleMania triple threats have often been hit and miss, with bouts seeming like the third person was just added just to get them a WrestleMania bonus check or to make the match more marketable, such as when WWE added Shawn Michaels to the Chris Benoit vs Triple H match at WrestleMania 20. But Daniel Bryan is one of the most popular superstars on the roster today, but his recent bid for the Universal Championship has sparked a Kofi Mania style movement with the fans, and with Bryan hinting this might be his last Mania, there's even more storyline potential for a triple threat. Bryan doesn't have to win the match, but he should join the bout, as it will be a battle between 3 of the WWE's top stars. What do you guys think? Should the WWE make Edge vs Roman into a triple threat? Number 3, Billie Kay Gold. Iconics fans are still getting over the talented team's breakup, especially since Peyton Royce's singles push appears to have fizzled out. However, Billie Kay has done surprisingly well for herself as a comedy character on Smackdown. Kay and Royce both have serious comedy chops, but Royce has been portrayed in a more serious manner lately, and Kay on the other hand has provided some funny moments on the Blue Brand, including a current bid to become Carmella's new sommelier. This could be a great opportunity for Kay as the women's division continues to be poorly booked, and frequent comedy spots will likely do more for her career right now than her frequent losses in the ring. Also, does anyone think that Kay should replace Hogan as the host with Titus? We think so. I'm sure she'd do a much better job. Number 4, Big E's Fists of Fury. It looks like Apollo Crews picked the wrong man to mess with, as he felt Big E's Fists of Fury on Smackdown. The two men were interviewed in separate locations, but Crews' continued trash talk led to the Intercontinental Champion embarking on a search and destroy mission against Crews. After trying to run down Crews with a golf cart, a spot that's likely going to run into the ground in WWE, he attacked the Nigerian prince, beating him senseless until WWE officials separated the two. This was a fantastic segment that elevated the Intercontinental title as a coveted championship and reminded fans that Big E may be a man who promotes the power of positivity, but who you don't want to piss off. Number 5, Edge has still got it. The Jey Uso vs Edge match was a reminder that the rated R superstar has still got it in the ring. While he looked a bit stiff, which shouldn't be a surprise as this is his 3rd match of the year, he was still ready to rumble and reminded fans why he's so entertaining in the ring. Ideally, the WWE should have Edge wrestle 1 or 2 matches before WrestleMania to get rid of any ring rust, but with Edge's contract stating he only has to work a handful of matches every year, that may not happen. And Seth Rollins' drip. A move over Nature Boy Ric Flair, as Seth Rollins' drip could be the next big thing in hip-hop. Rollins has been styling and profiling of late, and while he's giving off that creepy cult leader vibe, you can't deny he's doing it with style. Rollins' outfits would look preposterous on any other superstar, but he's pulling it off, making the black glove fashionable in wrestling since Barry Windham wore it as a member of the Four Horsemen. But that was the good, and incredibly, there was nothing bad about last night's show, and if I was to put some in, it'd probably be nitpicking. Smackdown was the perfect go-home show for Fastlane from start to finish. Now obviously there's nothing ugly about last night's show if there was nothing bad, with last night's show demonstrating how to keep things fresh. They didn't start with the usual opening interview with Roman Reigns and or his latest challenger, but showcased the SmackDown Women's Championship match between Nia Jax and Sasha Banks. Incredibly, they even used this match to add some spice to Fastlane's Women's Tag Team Championship match, as now there's not only the question of whether Banks and Bianca Belair can coexist, but whether the Tag Team Champions can. Now you may disagree, but let us know what you thought of Smackdown in the comments down below. Now let's move on to the news. Our first story looks at WWE accidentally leaking a major entry into the 2021 Hall of Fame. Have they spoiled the name of a major entry? Well, that's the question fans are asking after Daniel Bryan's name showed up as the WWE 2020 Hall of Fame inductee on the WWE Network. It's unknown at this time as to whether someone in the WWE's digital department mistakenly put it on there, and Ringside News suggested this might be a confusion because Daniel Bryan's wife Brie Bella was set to receive an induction last year, and it stands to reason that obviously Bella twins will get an induction this year as part of the ceremony's do-over. Now it kinda looks like more than just a mistake, as not only are the total Bellas in there, but the best of WWE Daniel Bryan's best matches, Team Hell No is on fire, Thank You Daniel, and a ride-along episode including him. There's more Daniel Bryan than there is Brie Bella or the Bella twins. Now with rumors of Bryan wrestling his last WrestleMania match this year, it's possible that the WWE is going to honor him before his contract expires, said to be in September this year, with the hope of keeping him in the promotion. Next up, Batista not appearing at the WWE Hall of Fame ceremony. Now, surprising news concerning 2020 Hall of Fame inductee Dave Batista, as it appears he won't be at this year's ceremony, honoring the classes of 2020 and 2021. In an exclusive report by Ringside News, they noted Batista is not slated to appear for the WWE Hall of Fame. He was part of last year's class, but a lot has changed since then. WWE said that the class of 2020 will be a part of this year's ceremony. They have yet to confirm any of those names publicly. It is unknown what the issue is with the animal. We were told weeks ago that there was a possible problem, and as of early this week, Dave Batista is still not confirmed to be part of the April 6th event. Now, this year's Hall of Fame will be pre-recorded and is scheduled to air on the Peacock streaming service on 6th April. It's unusual for a living member of the Hall of Fame to be absent from their induction, but if Batista is absent, it's likely due to a scheduling conflict with his Hollywood career. Next up is a WWE personality heading to AEW. Now, there's strong rumors going around that a personality could be heading to AEW once their contract expires. We reported that WWE interviewer and Raw Talk host Charly Caruso has had some heat backstage for showing up late for interviews, reportedly angering Orton and Sheamus. Caruso works for ESPN under her real name Charlie Arnault and recently added a podcast to her role at ESPN. However, don't rule out her showing up in AEW. As Wrestling News' Andrew Davis noted, Caruso is good friends with Tony Khan. In fact, it was Khan who invited her to the WWE Smackdown show in 2016. That is where she met WWE's Mark Carrano, and then she was introduced to Michael Cole, and that led her to being hired by the company. Caruso took over for Brandi Rhodes, who was leaving the company with her husband Cody. Do you think she will show up in AEW? Let us know in the comments down below. And finally, when was she pulled from WWE due to a dirty joke? Now, one tantalizing theory has it that Charly was taken off television due to her sliding a dirty joke on the air during an episode of Raw Talk. This is when she referred to Damian Priest as DP, and that she likes DP. Now, apparently some people felt Caruso was expressing her enjoyment of DP, aka, well, I'll let you Google that. However, our friends over at Urban Dictionary also define DP as dynamic programming. Well, obviously she didn't mean that, but either way, Caruso's comments give us a newfound appreciation for her body of work. On a side note, Paul Heyman seemed to have commented on Charly's WWE exit during an episode of Talking Smack when he berated co-host Kayla Braxton and noted, "We got rid of the wrong female journalist." A Slammy award-winning comment, if there ever was one. But there you have it, guys, the wildest wrestling news stories and rumors you need to know, as well as a review of Smackdown. Be sure to leave your comments down below, and I'll see you next time with some more wrestling content.